people, welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. Hello, beautiful people, welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk, these are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, Boogie down Bronx.
Hello, beautiful people, welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk, these are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, and I'm here to take care of the Sagittarius, Sagittarii. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This reading can resonate for you if you have Sagittarius as a sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, or south node sign. If you're a Sagittarius and you want a shirt like this, I know it's getting a little hot outside, but you know, we got hoodies, we got crew necks, we got tank tops, we got regular t-shirts. Go get you a Sag shirt. Link is in the description box down below. Use my code for 10% off. Just click the link, type in whatever sign you want. It doesn't have to be Sagittarius. It can be any sign. And get you a shirt. All right. What else I want to shout out? Shout out my Everything deck. Back in stock. Selling like hotcakes. I only have about 10 copies left. This is 2 decks in one. I just combine them when I'm using them. Love and career, and then general. So you can choose either or, and I still have a few bundles left. So go ahead and get you your deck so you can be like Bronx in the videos. And yeah, so we're just gonna get into the reading. For many of you, you know, I have been combining my tarot readings. Obviously, I'd still do the astrology with it, but also human design. So I highly encourage all of you to tap into your human design chart and know your type. So then when I'm talking about human design in my tarot readings, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you can apply for a more direct way, apply the messages more directly to yourself, okay? So let's get into it. Let's flip over these cards and see. Let's see what's happening for Sagittarius at this time. You have first card out, similar to Scorpio. Scorpio got this card, surrender, defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. All right, so defensiveness is here. At the bottom, we have surrender your need to always be right. So that kind of goes into this. And then surrender to setting limits is under that, which is like this card right here, honor your boundaries. And then we have another sad love story. We're just going to leave that there for now. But there's something that you're feeling a bit defensive about. And instead of getting defensive, it may be that you need to like rework your boundaries or reestablish boundaries or something that, you're, you know, trying to protect yourself in some way. And if you're more firm in your boundaries, you don't have to be so defensive. Or it could be like somebody that doesn't honor your boundaries. You find that you are very defensive with this person. Some of you haven't even talked about boundaries with someone, an individual. Could be in a romantic sense. And so you just automatically default to defensive energy. Or maybe somebody else does this with you. But if you were stronger in your boundaries or you spoke your needs more clearly and directly, you wouldn't have to be so defensive, either all the time or with this specific individual, okay? Can be friend, family, or love. So let's see what's the challenge for Sagittarius at this time. My cards just like flew out my hand. What is the challenges? What's the challenge for Sagittarius during March? What's the challenge? What was Sagittarius struggling with? Okay. So could be with a fire placement, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo you are struggling with. You have single. Some of you are about to be single, like, or you just got out of something for many of you, or you're struggling with being single. So we'll play it from both points of views. First, we have some names showing up. This can be letters in your name or letters in someone else's name that you know. Letters in name E, P, F, or D, and then letters in name R, K, I, or J. So these are letters in yours or someone else's. But a fire sign looks to be significant. So an Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo here. But I think this is a good lesson for many of you here, where it's like a learning lesson. You're learning something based on somebody else, right? Sagittarius is the opposite sign of Gemini. And in every sign, when we have an opposite sign, that can be a part of our shadow side. It's a part of us that is a little bit, it doesn't come naturally. So Sagittarius is known as the teacher, right? Sagittarius is all about their own wisdom, their own beliefs. And Gemini is the opposite sign. So Gemini is more so about curiosity, other people's thought patterns, right? So for many of you, this is a great time for you to really study other people and understand other people better. Like for some of you, you're getting defensive with especially a romantic partner or somebody that, you know, you don't quite understand. And it's just because many of you have different beliefs or you have different ways of perceiving things. So some of you need to take on more of that Gemini energy where you're just being receptive, you're studying, you're not taking somebody else's opposing views as an attack on you. You're just listening, you know? You're just listening to, or you're just trying to understand and study the ways other people think, right? And it's like, unless somebody's trying to change you, that's where you need to honor your own boundaries and say, you know what, we just don't think alike, or I'm not going to change my views and I won't try to change yours. But, you know, just really study your behavior at this time. And then, like I said, you have a fire sign here. What else is a challenge? What else is the challenge right now for Sagittarius? What else is a challenge right now for Sag? I think many of you are trying to find stability long term, and that's what's the challenge here. You have long term, you have stable. So you do want something that is long term, that is stable for you, whether this is in work or this is in a relationship, right? But for many of you, it's just been hard. It's been hard. So we're going to look at the solution now. What is the solution for Sagittarius for them to be able to find a long-term stability, whether this is in friendship, partner, or career? Past or past life, angel numbers or guidance, self-love, water sign. Okay, what else do we have for Sagittarius? What's the solution for them finding long-term stability, what they're looking for? Self-sabotage, ex or past love. Okay, that was a lot of cards. Let's see. Recognition, entrepreneurship. Honestly, the key for many of you is the more stable you feel within yourself, the more you're going to find what you're looking for outside of yourself. Okay, so you have here the recognition card. This really reminds me of projector energy. If you're a Sagittarius and you're a projector, you know, with projector energy, I spoke about this in the projector video, where if you don't recognize yourself, other people are not going to be able to see your aura. They're not going to be able to invite you in. They're not going to recognize you. You always have to be giving yourself your own praises. You have to, right? And so this goes back into self-love. And for many of you, you're really stuck on this defensiveness of an ex or somebody from your past that discredited your beliefs, right? So now when you move into new relationships or new friendships, it's triggering for somebody to have different opinions. It's triggering for other people to do things a bit different or to not accept you in the way you think, right? So this rejection feeling is something that is affecting your future relationships or your current relationships, right? Because somebody did not give you the acknowledgement you needed, or somebody did try to discredit the way you think or the way that you feel. And so now you've been kind of carrying this around with you for some. You've been carrying it with you into the next relationships, and you're getting defensive when it comes down to speaking your truth or, you know, standing up for what you believe in, honoring your boundaries. But again, this, in order to find the stability, you can't try to be around certain people that either don't want to understand you, don't try to work with you, don't want to adopt your beliefs, but also it goes vice versa. You are not meant to change other people's beliefs either. You're supposed to accept theirs, they accept yours, even if it's different. And if it can't work, then it just can't work, right? So For others of you, this is something that you are now realizing. Could be a water sign involved, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or a solution here is to tap more into that water energy. If you have water in your chart, you could have fire and water placements. So the solution is, you know, the challenge, if the fire sign energy is coming up in the challenge could be, you know, just expressing yourself the way you want to express, you're wanting to be heard the way you want to be heard. But the water sign energy as a solution is more so empathy, empathizing with the way other people think. You don't have to adopt their beliefs, but you also do not have to change their beliefs. Okay. And so finding new ways to kind of express your own self-beliefs in a way that does not step on anybody else's toes could be a great solution for you with relationships. You could be an artist or, you know, entrepreneurship, taking your job to the next level or doing something that really resonates with you. But I feel like needing to let go of this past energy of getting defensive when people do not understand you, when they don't believe what you believe. And the only reason you would need to really get defensive or, you know, set your boundaries is if somebody's trying to change you, right? You don't need to get defensive if somebody else just has a difference in opinion. That, you know, that's where the empathy part comes in and be like, I don't agree, but I accept, you know, the way that you think, because you cannot invalidate somebody's feelings. You may not like agree, but you can't say that they feel, you know, they can't feel a way, right? And so this ultimately will be to your demise if you find yourself always getting defensive, because every single person you come into account with will have a difference in opinion somewhere along the lines, right? And that does not mean that they're discrediting you. You know, not every single person. Some people, yes, some people will say, oh, you know, why do you think that way? That's not right. But not every single person who disagrees with you or, you know, has a difference in viewpoint is trying to attack you, is trying to degrade you. So it's important that you really learn the difference, Sagittarius, between people who just are different, like not like-minded, or people who are trying to overstep your boundaries, okay? And this is what will help you not self-sabotage and cut people off prematurely that actually do want to be closer to you. They just don't want their mind changed by anybody, or, you know, so it's kind of like do unto others as you want done unto you. All right. So what's coming towards Sagittarius at this time? We have the Six of Cups. This is past energy. Ooh. Okay. What's coming towards Sagittarius right now? I still see a fire sign coming in. Another fire sign, a Scorpio as well. Scorpio placement. What else do we got coming towards Sagittarius? I'm gonna clarify this death card. Oop. Two cards tried to come out. Why is the death card here? Why is the death card here? Why is the death card here? Okay. I do see that some of you are grieving or you're sad about a relationship that has ended, like, or that you had to let go of. Five of Cups. It ended in disappointment. Another sad love story. So this could, like I said, this is either love or a friendship or someone that you had an emotional connection with and you're reminiscing on the past, right? And for some of you, I feel like there is a possibility that you may come back around with this person, but not much will change unless you change your perspective, unless you change here. So you're going through this transformation, could have had an ending with a Scorpio placement. You have the Hangman in reverse. Pisces is here as well. But I see you changing your perspective. I do see a perspective shift here. And so I feel like this is really like a lesson learned for you, Sagittarius, where you really need to do some self-evaluating, right? Look at yourself and ask yourself, either are your beliefs or were your beliefs too rigid, or, you know, the way that you do things too rigid in the relationship that you feel a loss for? Or was this person trying to impose, or were they trying to overstep your boundaries? So if they weren't trying to impose or overstep your boundaries, they just had a difference in opinion, you may find that you actually self-sabotage that relationship by cutting it loose. But if you find that this person really just didn't support you at all, or really tried to change your belief system, Six of Swords, I find that it's going to be, you're going to move on from it. And you're going to now say, okay, I know what to look for now. So again, it'll be different for every Sagittarius out there. Some of you will find, okay, I was getting defensive when somebody had a difference in opinion or thought process or way of living, and I pushed them away, right? And so this could be a disappointment that you face. For others of you, you're going to say, no, this person overstepped my boundaries. They didn't want to work with me. They didn't want to compromise, or they didn't want to understand my beliefs. So you end up moving forward, and then you release that disappointment here, and you learn better for next time that you don't need to get defensive. You just need to have stronger boundaries with your relationships and not let people overstep that if you really feel strongly about something, as well as you don't overstep them, okay? But I do see there's disappointment here, but it's like just charging it to the game. A lesson learned. We're learning new things, right? We're trying to be more understanding and listen and compassionate for people's other belief systems that they have, right? 10 of Swords is at the bottom. 3 of Swords is under that. Ooh. It does look like an ending that hurt, though. But like I said, you're having this realization either that this person was trying to overstep your boundaries, or that you were the one that got defensive when you didn't need to get defensive, right? There's that clarity coming in. Strong fire energy again with the Leo. And, you know, sometimes you just have to hold that back. You have to tame that beast within you that wants to get defensive, that wants to attack, or perceived danger or threats. Very similar to the Scorpio reading. Theirs was more so about triggers in general, you know, pushing people away that, you know, they felt triggered by. This is more so you guys either pushing people away that didn't have the same beliefs as you about something, or you letting people overstep your boundaries to try to change your beliefs. So what's the advice? Any other advice for Sagittarius moving forward? Oops. Sagittarius moving forward with this energy. We have Temperance, Sagittarius, the Tower. Why is the Tower here for Sagittarius as their advice? Why is the Tower here for Sagittarius as their advice? 5 of Swords. Okay. 5 of Swords is really surrender your need to be right. Like, you don't need to be right at all costs. And for some of you, it's like, okay, so what I'm hearing is like some of you overcompensate for lost time when you were a child, where your beliefs were not heard. So now you feel like you need to really, you know, stand stronger in them and speak louder in them and firm, or like the ways that you felt were rejected in the past. So now with every person, before you can even, you know, hear what other people have to say, it's like you're already getting defensive. And so we have to really break away from that, Sagittarius. You have to break away from this energy of the past, of where you felt like people were not hearing you. People were trying to impose on your beliefs, right? People were trying to change you, trying to discredit you in some way. And now you feel like everybody does that, or you need to prove yourself first before they can do that. It's like, I'm going to get them before they get me type of thing, right? 5 of Swords. But in that way, you do self-sabotage because you're just always concerned more about being right than focusing on solutions, hearing people out, having a difference in understanding or emotional, you know, expression. There's some like strong differences in a relationship, that needs to have a middle ground, a compromise. Not everything is like a argument that has to end in a right, wrong, right? Could be with a Cancer or another Sag here, but you're gonna have new opportunities, new relationships that are very fun and exciting that come your way. And the key is to really just enjoy them, okay? Enjoy it. Even if somebody doesn't to the T, like align with everything that you believe in, doesn't do things the same, doesn't feel the same, doesn't think the same 100%, it doesn't mean that you guys are not still compatible in many other ways. It's just about accepting people for who they are, right? Or not accepting people that want to change you or impose on your boundaries. So again, it's not this all or nothing thing, right? It's not, oh, if we're not 100% agreeing, then it's you know, we're not going to agree at all. No, it's like you have to come up with this compromise, and this is the way that relationships build a bond. And you accept people for who they are, they accept you, you don't try to change each other, right? Or again, if people try to change you, those are the ones you need to set the boundaries with. But don't get defensive with everyone before, just because y'all don't share the same beliefs 24/7 or the same attitude, okay? So thank you, Sagittarius, for watching. If this reading resonated for you, let me know in the comments down below. I am at Tarot by Bronx.